Hey guys, welcome back and happy Friday, which means yes, we're going into the weekend. Holy cow, thank the Lord. All right, guys, we're back to talk about Andy Cohen, who is seemingly defying CNN's wish for him to sober up the New Year's Eve. I was going to say New Year's Eve. You can tell I'm thinking about New York. New Year's Eve coverage after, the controversial 2021 rant. On top of that, Sonja Morgan is addressing Bethany's comments about saving her job, and yeah, it sounds like we have a lot to discuss. Now, we also dropped a new podcast episode on Hot Messy Podcast, anywhere you listen to your podcast today with Lala Kent from Vanderpump Rules. And if you're not necessarily just into the listening part of it, well, you can go over to Hot Messy Podcast on YouTube and check out the video version. With that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And now, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so I don't know if you watched Andy Cohen last year for the New Year's Eve coverage, but I'm really kind of shocked that he's being asked back. I was not expecting that. But okay, here we go. During CNN's controversial 2021 New Year's Eve coverage, Andy Cohen trashed New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, calling him horrible, and suggested that he had the crappiest term in history. He also told him, sayonara sucka. Okay. The Watch What Happens Live host then targeted competing network ABC and their own performers that they hired for their coverage. And according to Andy, the musical performers were losers. If you've been watching ABC tonight, you've seen nothing, he said, and then he shared the next day that he had been overserved. Yeah. I guess everybody's kind of been there. Now, I mean, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people. Now, as CNN prepares to launch New Year's Eve, I keep on wanting to say New York Eve because it's in New York, but New Year's Eve coverage for 2022, again with co-host Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen, the network hinted at plans to sober up the boozy segment. I don't think that that's what Andy Cohen is going to do. Now, CNN's news chief, Chris Lick, recently expressed via Variety that the on-screen drinking eroded the credibility of CNN personnel and damaged the respectability they may enjoy among viewers. Then on an episode of Watch What Happens Live, Andy addressed the Variety article, saying tonight's jackhole goes to the Variety headline from today. It was CNN plans to sober up boozy New Year's Eve coverage. As the audience booed, Andy continued, the article does point out that Anderson and I are still allowed to drink. So we can all say this to my sobriety. And then it was a clip of him screaming, sayonara! He added, I just want you to know that Anderson and I are going to, and then he started screaming, party harder than we ever have partied before on New Year's Eve. Do you understand me? I mean, this is pretty much just sending like a big, I thought he was fun on New Year's Eve. I thought it was entertaining, but I'm interested to see, I'm surprised with him reacting this way to the Variety article and the headline that CNN's not pulling the plug, you know what, we'll just have Anderson Cooper. Or maybe Andy Cohen's just too big and CNN's oh, well, we can't pull the plug now. I mean, I don't know. Now, that's not the only thing that's going on. Sonja Morgan is responding to Bethany Frankel's claim that she almost got fired from the Real Housewives of New York. Now, on the premiere episode of Bethany's Rewives podcast, she claimed that Sonja Morgan and Alex McCord were set to be fired in previous seasons of the Real Housewives of New York City. She said that she pretty much lit a fire under Sonja's ass and got her to argue and fight with Tinsley Mortimer in order to save her position on the show. Bethany stated, one of the producers in the car said, I think we have to let Sonja go. And that she was just a disaster. Regarding a scene about the bidet and the lingerie, and it was on a loop and all of this other stuff. I went in and I said to the producer in the car, give me one night. Bethany expressed, and that was the night that Sonja resurrected herself. I forgot that. I don't even think Sonja, or she said, I don't even think that Sonja knows that. But Sonja has heard about it. After the podcast aired, Sonja shared a statement with Entertainment Tonight in a reaction to Bethany's claims. Washing the lingerie in my bidet was one of the biggest memes ever for me. And also, when I said I used to be classy and now I'm trashy to one of my interns in the bathroom on film, it was huge. It's so funny because Housewives, like I feel like just learning this over the time that we've shared kind of getting these different interviews and hanging out with different people, they really do love their moments, like their little iconic meme moments that they bring to the table. And they tell you straight up, like, that was huge. That was iconic. I'm the show. I bring the show. I was one of the biggest memes ever. Do you remember the toaster oven? Wow. Who was it I was talking to? She was so chill about it. Oh, when Jason and I went to Orange County in September for our Kelly Dodd, Rick Leventhal interview, it was interesting because she had Megan King staying with her, who is also a former cast member on The Real Housewives of Orange County. And we went out to dinner, and I said to her, I was like, it's so crazy. You're responsible for one of, like, kind of debunking one of the biggest Bravo lies in Bravo history. And she said, the biggest. And I was like, oh shit. And we were both talking about Brooks, Ayers, and his terrible cancer scheme. The star also added, and the star would be Sonja, I love Bethany and she always has my back. That's for sure. However, the top executives, meaning the producers on the ground, always told me that they could count on me to get epic material at the townhouse with hashtag Team Sonja. They said that they could always get gold filming with me, even if I was just talking to my poodle, not even wanting to have a conversation with a person. After Bethany announced her new Housewives podcast, we know that Luann and Carol shared their doubts about it, calling it pathetic and sad, and saying that she's had a lot of failed pivots since she left the franchise, which we talked about this today on Hot Messy Topics with John Victor. She literally has, been there on the ground with her charity, like disaster relief. She sold part of her company for $100 million. Skinny Girl brand is all over the place. Her Just Be with Bethany podcast does incredible. And now she has this Rewives podcast. Like, I think Bethany's fine. I don't think that there's a problem here. But I don't want to just give you this information and not ask what you think. What do you think about Andy Cohen seemingly responding and defying CNN's wish for him to sober up during the New Year's Eve coverage? And do you think it'll happen? Because from what he's saying, he is setting the tone that New Year's Eve is going to be one big ass party. And then Sonja clapping back at Bethany saying, to my defense, they always said I was reality TV gold. Go ahead and comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And don't forget that there's a new episode of Hot Messy Podcast out now. So go give it a listen. It's with Lala Kent from Vanderpump Rules. Let us know what you think. And yeah, drop a rating and a review. I love you guys. Happy Friday. See you later.